We can now speak to Brad Bowman. He's a former U.S. Army officer, also now Senior Director of the Center on Military and Political Power at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. So perfectly placed. Thank you so much for joining us. How significant do you see this pullout from Kherson?
Thanks for the opportunity. I see it as very significant. If this proceeds as it appears that it will, I would rank this right next to the inability of the Russian attack to conquer the capital, Kyiv, the pell-mell panicked retreat from around Kharkiv earlier this year, and the loss of Kherson would be incredibly significant. It is the only regional capital, as your correspondent said, to fall to invading forces since the February invasion. It's a vital Black Sea port. It's a gateway to Crimea. And it's one of the 4 regions that Putin fraudulently claimed to annex in September. So this would be a very significant defeat for Russia and further evidence that Kyiv has the momentum.
Well, you know, I was just saying U.S. President Joe Biden, he has said that Russia's decision to withdraw shows the military has real problems. Would you agree with that assessment?
I would. The Russian military has deep problems. They've taken an extraordinary number of casualties. The mobilization effort is put untrained, untested, unprepared soldiers on the front lines, and they're facing highly motivated Ukrainians who are experienced and motivated to defend their homes against an unprovoked invasion. So that tends to not go well for invading forces of that nature. And when you combine that with that bravery and agility with the weapons that they're receiving from the United States and their European allies, that's a formidable combination.
But there are a couple of things, if we step back for a moment. One, what we've seen, what Russia has done when they've been put under pressure, perhaps, you know, blowing up supplies, whether it's electricity or water, things like that that can devastate a civilian population. Also, we don't know the outcome yet, but looking at the US midterms, if Republicans gain control of the House of Congress, for example, of the House of Representatives in Congress, they may stop writing checks to help Ukraine.
Right. No, I'm glad for your note of caution there. I would agree with that. So, you know, the river Dnieper that kind of goes through the Kherson region has been a problem for Russia because Ukrainian attacks on bridges and river crossing has exacerbated their ability to supply their forces on the west side, making them isolated and vulnerable to attack. That's essentially the reason for this retreat if it goes forward. If those Russian forces are removed from the west side to the east side, the river goes from being a problem for Moscow to an asset and now becomes a natural barrier that Ukrainian forces have to deal with. And so that's an issue. And no doubt they're digging in as we speak. And as they leave, they're taking everything that's not nailed down with them and committing atrocities along the way, no doubt. So there's definitely some problems here for sure. In terms of U.S. support for this war, there have been, as far as I'm concerned, some troubling comments from some elements on the political right here. But if you look at what the majority of Republicans are saying and what centrists from both parties are saying, I think the United States will continue to provide Kyiv the means to defend themselves against this unprovoked invasion.
Brad Bowman, thanks so much for spending some time with us here on BBC News.